In a dramatic legal move, President Donald Trump has filed a $10 billion lawsuit against the Internal Revenue Service and the Treasury Department. The suit alleges that these agencies failed to prevent the improper disclosure of his tax returns, as well as those of his sons and his company. This legal action marks another chapter in Trump's ongoing battles with federal institutions, highlighting his determination to seek accountability for what he describes as a serious breach of privacy and trust. The lawsuit was filed at a federal courthouse in Miami, signaling the seriousness and high stakes of the case. According to the lawsuit, Trump is suing in his personal capacity, not as president. The plaintiffs include two of his sons, Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump, as well as the Trump Organization. The complaint claims that the defendants caused reputational and financial harm, public embarrassment, and unfairly tarnished their business reputations. Trump argues that the leak of his tax records and those of his family and company has negatively affected their public standing and portrayed them in a false light. This legal action is not just about financial compensation, but also about restoring their reputations. As news of the lawsuit broke, the IRS and Treasury Department did not immediately respond to requests for comment. This silence leaves many questions unanswered about how the agencies plan to address the allegations and what steps they might take next. The lack of an immediate response is not unusual in high-profile legal cases, where agencies often need time to review the claims and coordinate their official statements. Observers are now watching closely to see how the government will respond to Trump's high-stakes legal challenge. The controversy centers around Charles Littlejohn, a former IRS contractor who was sentenced to 5 years in prison in 2024. Littlejohn pleaded guilty to leaking Trump's tax records to the New York Times. His actions not only exposed Trump's financial details, but also included the tax records of thousands of other wealthy individuals, such as Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. The leak sparked widespread debate about privacy, security, and the responsibilities of government agencies in protecting sensitive information. The New York Times published exclusive reporting in 2020 that revealed Trump had paid only $750 in federal income taxes in both 2016 and 2017. This revelation fueled intense public scrutiny and political debate. Trump immediately denounced the story as totally fake news and claimed the information was illegally obtained. The publication of these details became a flashpoint in the ongoing battle between Trump and the media, raising questions about journalistic ethics and the legality of using leaked information. Trump's response to the leaked tax records was swift and forceful. He labeled the New York Times report as totally fake news and insisted that the information was obtained illegally. Trump's public statements emphasized his belief that the leak was part of a broader campaign to damage his reputation and undermine his political standing. He has consistently maintained that the reporting was inaccurate and that the leak itself was a serious crime. The leak orchestrated by Charles Littlejohn was not limited to Trump's tax records. In federal court, Littlejohn admitted to stealing the tax records of thousands of other wealthy individuals in 2019 and 2020. High-profile names like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk were among those affected. This widespread breach underscored the vulnerabilities in the IRS's data security systems and prompted calls for stronger protections of sensitive taxpayer information. In response to the leak, the IRS issued a statement in 2024 condemning Littlejohn's actions as unacceptable. The agency assured the public that it had taken aggressive steps to enhance data security and prevent similar incidents in the future. The IRS also notified affected taxpayers about the breach. These measures were intended to restore public confidence and demonstrate the agency's commitment to safeguarding sensitive information. Trump's lawsuit is part of a broader legal strategy to seek compensation and accountability for perceived wrongs. He told reporters that he was seeking a lot of money from the federal government, referencing past investigations by the Justice Department. Trump's approach reflects his willingness to use the courts to challenge actions he believes are unjust and to pursue significant financial damages as a form of redress. The lawsuit seeks $10 billion in damages from the IRS and Treasury Department. Additionally, the New York Times reported that Trump was seeking $230 million in damages from the Justice Department in a separate matter. Trump has suggested that if he wins, he might donate the money to charities or to the White House. This aspect of the case adds another layer of complexity, as Trump's dual roles as plaintiff and president could create unique legal and ethical questions. Trump has been vocal about the lawsuit, telling reporters that he would be the one to approve any payout and that it was awfully strange to make a decision where I'm paying myself. He also mentioned the possibility of donating the money to charity or to the White House. These comments reflect Trump's characteristic style of blending legal, political, and personal considerations in his public statements. Neither the White House nor the Trump Organization immediately responded to requests for comment regarding the IRS lawsuit or Trump's plans for any potential damages. This lack of response is not uncommon in ongoing legal matters, as parties often wait to see how the case develops before making public statements. The silence adds to the intrigue and speculation surrounding the case. Since returning to office, Trump has filed numerous lawsuits, often seeking $10 billion in damages. These legal actions have targeted a range of organizations, including media companies and financial institutions. Trump's pattern of pursuing large-scale litigation demonstrates his aggressive approach to defending his reputation and interests and his willingness to challenge powerful entities in court. One notable lawsuit was filed against the BBC, with Trump seeking $10 billion in damages. He claimed defamation over edits to a clip of his speech on the 6th of January 2021. The BBC has stated that it will fight the suit and has sought to have it dismissed. This case highlights the ongoing tensions between Trump and major media outlets, as well as the challenges of litigating defamation claims involving public figures. In July, Trump filed a $10 billion lawsuit against the Wall Street Journal and its parent company's owner, Rupert Murdoch. The suit was over the paper's reporting on a crude drawing Trump was alleged to have sent Jeffrey Epstein in 2003. A spokesperson for Dow Jones, the parent company, defended the reporting and stated that the company would vigorously defend against the lawsuit. This case is another example of Trump's readiness to confront media organizations in court. Trump's legal actions have not been limited to media companies. He has also sued JPMorgan Chase and its CEO, Jamie Dimon, for $5 billion, alleging that the bank improperly closed his accounts for political reasons. Additionally, Trump filed a $15 billion defamation suit against the New York Times and 3 of its reporters over coverage of his 2024 campaign. These lawsuits illustrate the breadth of Trump's legal battles and his willingness to take on both financial and media giants. Both JPMorgan and the New York Times have dismissed Trump's lawsuits as having no merit. Their responses reflect a common stance among large organizations facing high-profile litigation to publicly defend their actions and challenge the basis of the claims. These responses set the stage for potentially lengthy and complex legal battles, with significant implications for all parties involved. The media has closely followed Trump's lawsuits, providing extensive coverage and analysis. Public reaction has been mixed, with some viewing the lawsuits as justified efforts to protect privacy and reputation, while others see them as attempts to intimidate critics and suppress unfavorable reporting. The ongoing coverage ensures that these legal battles remain in the public eye, influencing perceptions of Trump and the institutions involved. Trump's lawsuits raise important legal and ethical questions, especially regarding the use of leaked information, the responsibilities of government agencies, and the boundaries of defamation law. The cases also highlight the challenges of balancing privacy rights with the public's right to know, particularly when it comes to high-profile figures. These issues are likely to be debated in courtrooms and in the public sphere for years to come. The Littlejohn leak has prompted renewed focus on data security within government agencies. The IRS has pledged to enhance its security protocols and prevent future breaches. This incident serves as a reminder of the importance of robust cybersecurity measures, especially when handling sensitive personal and financial information. The outcome of Trump's lawsuit could influence future policies and practices in this area. Following the leak, the IRS announced aggressive actions to strengthen data security. These measures include updated protocols, enhanced monitoring, and increased training for employees and contractors. The agency's goal is to ensure that incidents like the Littlejohn case do not happen again and to reassure the public that their information is safe. These steps are part of a broader effort to modernize government cybersecurity. The case also raises questions about the role of whistleblowers and the limits of their actions. While some view leaks as a way to expose wrongdoing, others argue that unauthorized disclosures can cause significant harm and violate privacy. The legal consequences faced by Charles Littlejohn underscore the risks involved in leaking sensitive information, even when the intent is to inform the public. Incidents like the tax record leak can erode public trust in government institutions. The IRS and Treasury Department must work to rebuild confidence by demonstrating transparency, accountability, and a commitment to protecting personal information. The outcome of Trump's lawsuit may influence how the public perceives these agencies and their ability to safeguard sensitive data. Trump's legal team is composed of experienced attorneys who specialize in high-profile litigation. They are tasked with navigating the complexities of federal law, privacy rights, and defamation claims. The team's strategy will be closely watched, as it could set precedents for future cases involving leaked information and government accountability. The lawsuit was filed in a federal courthouse in Miami, marking the beginning of what could be a lengthy legal process. Federal court proceedings involve multiple stages, including motions, discovery, and potentially a trial. Both sides will present evidence and arguments, and the outcome could have far-reaching implications for privacy law and government accountability. There are several possible outcomes to Trump's lawsuit. The court could dismiss the case, rule in favor of Trump and award damages, or find in favor of the IRS and Treasury. Each outcome would have different implications for the parties involved and could influence future legal actions related to data breaches and privacy violations. The outcome of this case could set important legal precedents regarding the responsibilities of government agencies to protect personal data, as well as the rights of individuals to seek redress for breaches. It may also influence how courts handle future cases involving leaked information and the balance between privacy and public interest. Trump's lawsuit has significant political ramifications as it pits a former president against federal agencies. The case could influence public opinion, impact future elections, and shape the political landscape. Both supporters and critics of Trump are closely following the developments, recognizing the potential for the case to become a major political flashpoint. The media plays a crucial role in shaping public understanding of high-profile legal battles. Coverage of Trump's lawsuit has been extensive, with news outlets analyzing the legal arguments, potential outcomes, and broader implications. The media's reporting influences how the public perceives the case and the parties involved, making it a key player in the unfolding drama. The case raises questions about the privacy rights of public figures. While public officials are subject to greater scrutiny, they are still entitled to certain protections. The balance between transparency and privacy is a recurring theme in legal and ethical debates, and Trump's lawsuit brings these issues to the forefront. Trump's lawsuits often involve claims of defamation, which must be balanced against the principles of free speech and press freedom. Courts must determine whether the statements in question are protected by the First Amendment or constitute actionable defamation. These cases test the limits of legal protections for both public figures and the media. The federal courts play a central role in resolving disputes like Trump's lawsuit against the IRS and Treasury. Judges must interpret complex laws, weigh competing interests, and issue rulings that can have far-reaching effects. The judicial process is designed to ensure fairness and accountability, even in cases involving powerful individuals and institutions. Trump's lawsuit is part of a long history of legal battles involving public figures and government agencies. Similar cases in the past have shaped the development of privacy law, freedom of the press, and the limits of government accountability. Understanding this historical context helps to frame the significance of the current case. The outcome of Trump's lawsuit could influence the future of data privacy in the United States. If the courts rule in favor of stronger protections, government agencies may be required to implement more rigorous safeguards. Conversely, a ruling against Trump could reinforce existing standards. Either way, the case is likely to have a lasting impact on how personal information is handled and protected. Government agencies can learn valuable lessons from the Littlejohn leak and the ensuing lawsuit. The importance of robust internal controls, employee training, and rapid response to breaches cannot be overstated. Agencies must prioritize the protection of sensitive data to maintain public trust and avoid costly legal battles. The case could set a precedent for how similar incidents are handled in the future, affecting other public figures whose information might be at risk. The legal standards established here could guide future lawsuits and influence how both government agencies and the media approach sensitive data. Advances in technology have made it easier to store and transmit large amounts of data, but they also create new vulnerabilities. The Littlejohn leak demonstrates how a single individual with access can cause widespread harm. Strengthening cybersecurity and monitoring access are essential steps for preventing future breaches. Journalists face ethical dilemmas when reporting on leaked information. While such stories can serve the public interest, they also raise questions about privacy and legality. The Trump tax records case is a prime example of the challenges journalists face in balancing the need to inform the public with respect for individual rights. Transparency is a key principle in both government and journalism. While protecting sensitive information is crucial, so is the public's right to know about matters of significant public interest. The Trump lawsuit highlights the ongoing tension between these two values and the need for clear guidelines. Restoring public confidence after a major breach requires more than technical fixes. Government agencies must communicate openly, take responsibility, and demonstrate a commitment to improvement. The way the IRS and Treasury handle Trump's lawsuit and the underlying issues will be closely watched by the public and other institutions. High-profile cases like Trump's lawsuit can serve as catalysts for reform. Lawmakers may introduce new legislation to strengthen data protection, clarify legal standards, or enhance agency oversight. The public's response to the case could influence the direction and urgency of these reforms. The Trump IRS lawsuit is part of a broader debate about privacy, accountability, and the role of government. As technology evolves and the amount of personal data grows, society must grapple with how best to protect individuals while ensuring transparency and accountability. This case is a focal point in that ongoing conversation. As the legal process unfolds, all eyes will be on the courts, the government agencies involved, and Trump himself. The outcome of the case could shape future legal standards, influence public policy, and affect the reputations of everyone involved. Observers will be watching for key developments and the potential for lasting change. To summarize, Trump's $10 billion lawsuit against the IRS and Treasury Department centers on the leak of his tax records and raises complex questions about privacy, government accountability, and the role of the media. The case has significant legal, political, and ethical implications, and its outcome could influence future policy and practice in multiple areas. The Trump IRS lawsuit is more than just a legal dispute. It's a reflection of broader societal challenges in the digital age. As personal data becomes increasingly valuable and vulnerable, the need for strong protections, clear legal standards, and responsible journalism grows ever more urgent. The resolution of this case will be closely watched and could set the tone for how similar issues are handled in the future.